G'day folks, Dos here, and thanks for joining us on this latest adventure. Today, I'm chasing some bass, but unfortunately they don't seem to be on the bite. The lures that normally seem to work here just aren't today. This area has had a lot of rain. As you can see, the wall is pouring over, but I think most of that's cleared now, so me and Tritty Bobby are going to head out and try and catch some bait since lures aren't working, and this is that story. Whilst we were asking about trying to find the best place to go and catch some bait for bass for the freshwater, somebody mentioned to us that they had heard a lot of the bass had flowed down over the second barrage, out of the fresh and into the salt water, where they're probably not used to finding food. Even though these things are migratory fish, we decided we'd go up there and see if we could present them with the same lures they're used to. Now, we can't fish right on this barrage, that's illegal. We're going to head back out to where this current's meeting into the river and tie up there and see if we can get some bites. We've flicked plenty of lures, but the fish just don't seem to be biting. But something else is. You reckon that's the bass we come here for? There you go. Well, we come up the Mary to where the Tanana Creek runs out to chase some bass, but this is all we're catching. But we're going crabbing tomorrow, so we'll give that a chop as bait. And we do use it as crab pot bait. Check that out in one of these other videos. Tritty Bobby had a few things he had to do, so I'm teaming up with Charlotte. We're going to go and set these lobby traps, or yabbies, blue claw, crayfish, crawdads, whatever you call them. We're going to go and try and catch some. Got the finest bait here from Woolworths. And we're going to take them out and try a few stormwater drains and see what's about. Righto, we're out here in this Wallum country. This sandy soil with lots of paper barks and wetlands, all that sort of things, and that's where these blue claw like to live. When we get heaps of rain, the place is flooded, just like this. So me and Charlotte here, we're going to try and find some deep holes and set up some of these traps. See if we can get some blue claw. If we get some to eat, great. If not, we're going to use some for bait and try and catch some native bass. But we've got to get these traps in. First things first, we've got to find some nice deep holes in this area, hopefully with a bit of flowing water, and see if we can turn up some of these native blue claw lobbies. Yep, throw it out a little bit. So much of this forest is just flooded, which is great for us trying to catch some of these lobbies, but I'm sure glad we don't have the pots in here when it was roaring. I bet this water was coming over the road and charging through here. Got a couple more of these to put out, 8 in total. That's the legality for 2 people checking them. And we're out of here, and we will be back later this afternoon to check them. And over the course of the next few days, we're going to see if we can turn up a few of these freshwater crayfish. So we're back. It's 6 o'clock this afternoon. I was debating whether to come check them or not, but somebody was pretty pumped up to come and check them. So here we are. Charlotte again with me. She's pulling in the first pot now. Let's see if she gets anything. Now, did you get a few?
Yep.
I'll come over.
Are these any eaters?
No, they're not bad size. Typical. She's only concerned about eating these things. But she did manage to get a few out of this first drain.
Yeah. Wow.
One good for
What they're in.
Oh, that's got eggs on it. Let's have a look. See all the eggs?
Oh, yeah. Did the other one have eggs?
No, I didn't have eggs. I'll let this one go.
So that's a female.
It sure is. There she goes. We'll double check the ones in the bucket before we keep any. I haven't seen any eggs except for that one.
He's in there just
We got a fish in this one. Is that a silver perch? I'm no expert, guys. What do you reckon? It's just running out from under the road in the scrub here, but we'll put it back where he come from.
Five. Fishy.
No eggs?
Nope.
No, I don't. Because we're going to be running these traps for a few days, I've brought this. It's a live bait bag. You can buy them online. Top of them floats. The bottom of them doesn't. It's just mesh, zips. Throw all your bait, your critters in there. That's going to keep them alive. We're going to set this one down in some running water, and that'll keep these guys fresh. Plenty of oxygen. Probably a little bit of food moving through as well for them. We're going to come back and check these things in the morning, see if we can get a few more. It's important to throw some leaf litter or some sticks and stuff in there with them, because they do fight. As soon as they see each other, they try and kill each other. They are super vicious little critters. But that's it for us tonight. We will be back in the morning to see if we've caught any more. Unfortunately, overnight, this area had 125 mils of rain, or 5 inches in freedom units, which just caused this place to really flood. It's flooded a lot of the roads on the way in, but we're still going to try and get in, because legally we're supposed to check these traps every 24 hours, and it doesn't look like this water's going down anytime today. So we're going to get out, and hopefully the traps are still here. I'm very concerned they've been washed away after all this rain. But we're just going to have to get out there and check. Well, we had a trap tied off to this wattle tree, but just up there, it's broken the branch off, so it's been washed down this way. So hopefully the water resides in the next day or two if we're still around, and we can track up there and see if we can find it. It probably has got wedged up in some tree branches. Hopefully not washed too far, but the water was considerably higher than this last night, so who knows how far it's made it down that way. Well, this much rain certainly wasn't predicted for last night. Can't see the ropes on this one. I'm going to go and check the next one, but it's not looking real good for the traps. On that one down there, we can see the rope, and we've actually spotted on the one back here. I can't get out to that one because that's right in the current. Hopefully it stays there till later. We can sort of see the ropes up around the trees there. I don't know if the pot's still on the end of it, but we'll have to come back probably tomorrow now to try and check that one. But I think I might be able to wait out and get this one. I did manage to get this pot in. I just threw it up in the long grass because I couldn't actually make it all the way out to where it was tied off. There was maybe a metre of water around it, and it was running hard. This is the worst section of flooding. It's flooded for about 60 or 70 metres up the road here. Ideally we'll get all our pots back, but as long as we can get back the bait cage, the one with the live lobbies in it, because I'd hate to leave them there floating away. So it's still tied off. That's a good thing. Oh, this one's definitely in the drain. Oh, yes, I can't get it out. It is pulling hard. We're going to have to leave it here and try and tie it back off. A little bit of rope I've got left. This has about 6 or 7 metres of rope on it, so the cage at the moment is dead under the road, right in the middle of it. There must be a huge amount of leaves and sticks and water built up behind this thing, because I cannot pull it back. Let it go and see if it comes out. I suppose that's not a bad option. Risk it for the biscuit. Oh, there she goes. I should have been quicker. I'm left with little choice but to track this thing down through the bush. How far down did it go? Charlotte stay put where she is while I go off the road and down this stream to see if I can find these live lobbies. This isn't where I want to be. Unbelievably, I can see the handle has swung around and caught on this sapling. That has saved me a long walk. Now, just got to fight the current and get this thing back. Come on. And somehow, all the lobbies managed to still be alive. They loved it. Right, we've got the live trap back, the live cage. We've got one trap here. That one I think is gone. Somewhere out into the bush. We go up to the next crossing, there's one on the road, and I imagine the downstream one's broken the rope as well. So we'll go and check. We had 8 traps in. We've managed to locate 6 of them, which isn't too bad, all things considered. This is the last one coming in now. It feels heavy, like it's filled up with leaves and debris, like some of the other ones. This one actually had something a little extra.
Have a look at this water rat.
So it's obviously got in the pot. Wasn't really any bait left in there and couldn't get out. I'm surprised that fit through these 3-inch rings. It hasn't chewed a hole in it. So 3 inches to stop turtles getting in, but this guy, he managed to get in. They're pretty big critters. Live out here in the marshes and the lakes. So unlucky, we might throw that back in as bait. Might as well not waste it. I'm not going to cut it up, but I'll rebait it with a bit of steak and throw it in there as well. We're just going to throw them in the shallows here. We're not going to obviously throw them back in where the road's all flooded there, where the drains are and the big holes are. We'll come back out here later today if we don't get a heap of rain and check them, see if we can move them down. Hopefully this water's subsided by then. We do still have our ones we caught yesterday. Charlotte's been in there and checked them. They're still in there, still alive somehow. They're pretty tough, these critters, but we're going to have a little boil up on them.
One here.
Oh yeah, that's one there. Still doing alright. Very oxygenated water, so they'll be loving that, I suppose. But we're not going to leave them here this time. We're going to take them with us. Take a few of the smaller ones for bait and cook up some of the bigger ones and give them a try. But we'll get these 2 traps back in, get back across all these flooded roads, get back to town, and we'll come back out later and check them again. This is the one we thought was broken off, but it's just bent this branch right round from where it was. And there's the rope. It looks like it's coming in too. This one we haven't checked today because we didn't find it this morning. The water was up where we're standing now. She's got some debris in it, but it looks pretty well still intact. We ended up setting all the traps pretty close to each other and working them. That means we come back through every 15-20 minutes, rebaiting them and rechecking them. That seemed to get the best results rather than letting them sit too long.
The pot in, and I found, and there was one lobby, and it has the baby.
Heaps of eggs on it. No, well, let her go where we found her. Alright, we've got about another 12.5 here this afternoon. So we're going to take some of them home and we'll cook some up, see how they go. But before that, me and Tritty Bobby are going out to chase a few bass. We're walking down a trail we know from checking out years ago. You can get down and hopefully find a bit of backwater, because after all that rain, I think the current has picked up a little bit where the water's coming over the wall. It's a bit of a hike and we got plenty of gear. So it's time we get down there and try and get a few of these baits in the water and see if that does the trick of luring in some of these Australian bass. Oh, look at this, mate. It was a hell of a hike, but not much run. See the current out there still tearing through. Oh well, it's been a long process to get some blue claw over the last 3 or 4 days, but we've finally got some good bait size ones. We've got a few eaters. We're going to see if we can get some bass for lunch. Hopefully do a bit of a boil up, but get these lines in the water, get this gear set up, and hopefully the fish are biting. We carried in about a dozen of the smaller blue claw. We're using them as live bait, a single hook through the tail, about 1 foot a leader and a float. We're throwing these out. There's plenty of structure in this water, and the lobbies tend to grab onto that and look quite natural. So we're setting them out there, one each, on a float. We're going to flick a few lures in the meantime, but pretty quickly the float start going under. Not done any good for the little blue claw. It's just got crunched, but we'll put him back out there, see if it comes. Tristan and I were both getting plenty of bites. The bobber's going under, pop them back up, way out towards the centre. We just can't seem to get anything to stick the hooks. It doesn't matter what technique we use, we can't seem to get these fish to commit. Gone under a frame. You're joking. Finally I managed to set a hook, but the fish has gone in under a log. Oh, and there's the branch. Maybe I don't have to fish. Maybe it's the branch. Possibly. I'll try to drag his branch. The things I'd do to land a bass right now.
Wait, there's still a fish on, brother.
Oh.
Jump on him.
Jeez.
Oh.
No, there is. Oh, there is.
Dirty caddy.
After all that, that's what we get. That is not what we're here for. I can't believe I pulled that whole log out of the water for this thing. Today is not our day for bass. And with an incoming storm, we decided it was time to head back towards the barrage.
Further down
Maybe
still.
flick a few baits out there if the water wasn't too high. And yeah, don't think we're going to be fishing off that road.
So we've got two options. Go back and keep trying our spot. That's it.
So, that was it. We're not eating bass, we're eating the bait. But apparently these things go alright, so let's boil them up. These things require a hell of a lot of peeling to get the meat out of. From what I've heard, they get a lot bigger than these ones. These are just the ones we caught. Well, I had a bit before with lemon. We'll try a bit with garlic aioli and see how it goes. They just don't have a lot of flavour.
Would catch again.
Certainly not the biggest bass of the trip.
Little did I know that would be the biggest bass we'd catch all trip, even after putting in the effort and going and catching the blue claw. This little fella I caught in the run on a popper was the biggest bass we caught for the 4 or 5 days we were chasing him. Unfortunately, the weather played a big part in that and we couldn't quite get after him as much as we would have liked. But we still had an awesome time down here. I got to spend some quality time with some mates and the kids, and it doesn't get much better than that. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys, and maybe I'll see you out there somewhere.